Well, here we are again for the RetroTech 120p challenge. In the RetroTech 20p challenge, you basically have as many practice runs as you want. And then you press the record button and you use your 2 credits, see how far you get. And the person who gets the furthest wins. This week it will be Anthony at Raving Gaming. Check out his video if you want to watch good gameplay, because he gets quite far in this. It is Bobble, as I'm sure you're no doubt aware, with the old jaunty theme tune and all that. Bobble, of course, was a 1986 Taito game, converted to absolutely everything. There was 30 official, maybe even more than that now, 30 official conversions. One of the most converted games of all time, surely, up there with the likes of Tetris and Street Fighter and things like that. Street Fighter 2, that is. Bob and Bob are the lead characters. They sort of were wandering about, and all of a sudden a chap called Baron von Blubber went, "Yeah, you see your girlfriends there? I'm going to kidnap them, and I'm also going to turn you into dragons, because as if your day isn't bad enough." Why he does that, I don't know. You know, they never explain why these characters in sort of kids-orientated arcade games steal women. Is there a dirty sex scene going on there? I'm sure it's more innocent than that. He's just kidnapped someone because he's lonely. But if he has done it to force his sex into people, what I would say to him is, dude, you can turn people into dragons, right? That's quite an impressive power. Just go down to the pub and turn, I don't know, the little fella who sits at the bar by himself with his dog, turn him, I don't know, into an emu, or I don't know, a slug, or a puppy. Puppy's probably a better choice for this. And girls, you'll be beating them off with a stick. So Baron von Blubber, stop kidnapping women, and start doing creepy stuff with magic to charm them into bed, or just become a better person. How about that? So that's the story. You go off into the Cave of Monsters and try and reverse this terrible situation by flinging bubbles out of your gob, spitting at people, basically, which, you know, in normal circumstances I wouldn't tolerate, but in this situation I think it's fine that these formerly human dragon men with stumpy legs go around gobbing at people, especially as they're nasty people, this legion of villainy. It's probably it's got so many sequels, this. Obviously when they turn back into humans, they end up in things like Rainbow Islands and Parasol Stars and things like that, and then there's other sequels where they turn back into dragons, like other Bubble games. So I don't know if the Baron von Blubber didn't learn his lesson, but there you go. But yeah, one of the first games I played, I think it was up there with Core. I definitely remember playing Battlezone as the first game I ever played. Then it was something like Outrun, maybe Elevator Action was definitely an early one I played. Pac-Man, obviously. What else? But this must have been in the first 10 games I ever played, before I got the Spectrum and the NES and all of that. But yeah, it was the creation of Fukio MTJ Mitsushi. Always mangle the Japanese names, so I do. Does anyone know, by the way, why, and please do tell me, because I can't be bothered to use Google, why West Ham have the song about blowing bubbles? What's that got to do with West Ham? I know obviously they contributed a lot to the 1966 World Cup team. I know that their fans are, you know, not quite as crappy as Millwall or Chelsea fans, but are somewhat distasteful, as anyone who can watch such excellent fiction as Green Street can attest to. But what's it got to do with bubbles? I don't understand. But yes, so as I say, if you've come for the gameplay, you should have probably gone somewhere else to someone like Raven Gaming, who does very well in this. He stayed up all night and did very well. He loves this game. He loves it like it's his son. He nurtures it. It is perhaps where he wants to be in life. Raven Gaming wants to be a dragon that dribbles bubbles everywhere. You know, something I think we can all aspire to do. But yes, so if you want to watch good gameplay, go somewhere else. I'm terrible at this game. This level here is the bane of my life, and I, spoiler alert, die here on both goes. But you have not come for the gameplay with me, and if you did, you're not going to stick around for that. You're going to stick around for the genital facts of the week. Now, usually it is related to this game, or the game I'm playing, and I could do dragons, couldn't I? Except they're not real. So I've gone for the act that the dragons perform most frequently, which is they blow. Yes, this week we're talking about oral sex. I'm going to give you some fine facts about oral sex. Number one, fellatio is the Latin word for suck. If you went up to Jacob Rees-Mogg, the Tory MP who's well known for speaking Latin, and you said, can I do a fellatio in front of you? He might perfectly innocently think that you're just going to lick a lolly, as he extorts loads of money and ferries it out the country, potentially to Russian people. But don't say anything about that. Anyway, in Egypt, the goddess, and this is a funny one, in Egyptian mythology, the goddess Isis revived Osiris. Yes, in Egyptian mythology, the goddess Isis revived Osiris. Is that his name? I don't know. By sucking his old chap. That was her brother. So if you think the trend as of late in pornography for people having sex with their siblings is a new thing, they've been doing it since Egyptian mythology. In medieval Europe, oral sex was banned altogether because it was unnatural and couldn't lead to reproduction. You'd have 4 years penance if caught performing cunnilingus, and 5 for fellatio. God, they were a bit sexist there, weren't they? Blowjob, the word originated in Tijuana Bible, in the Tijuana Bible, a 1940s comic book. So there's one for etymology fans there. Fellatio was considered a felony in every US state up until 1950. So you couldn't get a cheeky jaw job off the wife. 80% of women and men have reported in participating in oral sex. The others perhaps lived in 1950. Most teens don't consider oral sex as real sex and only consider full penetration as the only way to lose your virginity. What do you think about that? I don't know. You certainly got pretty close with someone, haven't you, if you've done that? Other species, of course, we've got to get to other species. It's one of my videos. Love a bit of the old sword swallowing. And they, in their number, count Chinese fruit bats. I mean, you wouldn't look at their faces, would you? Bonobos, cheetahs, tigers, and black bears. Black bears are just weird, aren't they? Big fat bum dickheads that tear the back off Leonardo DiCaprio in his acting pomp. Now here, as we come to the final genital fact of the week, this is a story, and I found this on the internet, so it's probably not true, but listen to this. It does stretch credulity quite a bit, and there's so many questions. There is a case of a woman getting pregnant despite only ever performing oral sex. A young woman was born with no vagina, and I don't think they were trans. I think they just didn't have a vagina. I presume they had a pee hole. No idea. Was stabbed in the stomach just after performing oral sex on her boyfriend. I mean, that in itself is a story. So what happened then was sperm travelled through her damaged intestinal tract and landed in her reproductive organs, and a healthy baby was born via C-section 9 months later. I like that bit at the end, 9 months later. You know, as if you didn't know how long a baby takes to gestate. Tell me more about the situation that emerged where a woman had performed oral sex and then got stabbed. Was it her boyfriend discovering she had no vagina? I don't know. There's a bit of an extreme reaction from him, if that was the case. But yes, what a wonderful way to end our oral sex variant of the general facts of the week as we wrap things up. And we will continue doing these videos. I know it's now into the 4th year of the Arcade Challenge. I've in fact been doing videos now for 4 years, believe it or not. You wouldn't know looking at my subscriber amount, tell you, Jesus. But yes, it's what a nice game to go back to, of course. You know, a beloved classic, probably one of the most beloved games of all time. Bobble. Some really good conversions on the 8-bits, of course. Tremendous little game, this. And I hate this level. There is a way to do it, but I couldn't be bothered to practice, to be honest. Again, that's not to say I don't lend myself and commit myself to these videos. I just like to get them out early, and then I can carry on with my week unabated. So yes, please, if you've never played in one of these, we're 4 years in, but there's no better time to start than with an old classic we've all played that you've played before, and might be able to show up even the great Anthony or Mark, whoever comes along at the end of the week and upsets the apple cart. So please do join us in the RetroTech 120p challenge, as the skeletal whale there looks for me as his latest prey. But you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to throw myself into a regular whale and ruin your day, skeleton whale fella. But that is it for me for today. So come back next week for no doubt more sexual facts. And I'll say to you for now, Kay, thanks, bye.